Well, good morning, everybody. It is Sunday morning, day 6. Got 14 miles to do today, ups and downs. It's Sunday, so stores are going to be closed, and that's just kind of how it goes. So I was able, though, to get to a market and get a sandwich and an orange for lunch, so I'm looking forward to that. There's going to be churches along the way that I'm going to stop in and see, and that should be something to look forward to. Slept real well last night. The host, we stayed at Little India, very friendly guy, did speak English. There was a German couple there that I was impressed with. They traveled all over the world. She had recently retired just at the beginning of this month, literally just about 2 weeks ago. And they were out taking their kind of yearly walk that they do. They spoke German and French, as they had lived in France for a handful of years, and English. So, you got to hand it to the Europeans. I tell you, they have a way of kind of living together and trying to communicate with each other, and not expecting everybody to be able to speak or understand English. But, so far it has worked out for me. There's, long moments at the dinner table where they're talking in French and I'm just kind of sitting there, and that's all right. So, as I said, some ups and downs today, but it doesn't look too bad. Still trying to get my reservations worked out for tomorrow night, which is just a little unsettling, but I'll be able to do that. It looks like I'm gonna, again, as I said before, get in tonight, take a short day, and then it's gonna be a very, very long day into Condom. But all right, that's just how it goes. So, take it as it goes. And here's a little bit about the trail in the early morning. So I don't know if you can hear the buzzing of the electricity through the high voltage wires. These are leading from the nuclear power plants that are, a distance, but you can't see unless we get over the rise. So, pretty impressive. A little scary, obviously, but that's the way it is, I suppose. It was supposed to rain, 80% chance about the last half hour, and nope, not a drop. Humid as all get out. This coastal boy is just sweating up a storm. Not the difficulty of the hike right now, just how humid it is, and hot. So here we go. Well, I gotta tell you, that was some next level stuff. Wow, spectacular chapel. The Templar influence in the town, just really interesting. Just saw a young couple get married, come out of the, I guess the local hall. They weren't in the church. So nonetheless, just charming, very, very charming. So Saint Antoine, I suppose. Very nice. Had lunch, got my reservation set up for Lectoure, which I feel good about. Annoyed that half of the folks that I send emails or text to just simply never respond. So, I don't know. Anyways, gonna carry on. Large chateau at Flamens. Something to look forward to on today's hike. Weather is getting a bit more overcast and the wind's picking up. So I don't know, maybe we'll see a little bit of sprinkle along the way. But nonetheless, just gonna start putting in the miles and had a good lunch. Had a little random French dog, was my lunch buddy today, so that was fun too. All right, here we go, and bye. Saint Antoine, Anthony, and all right. Well, I made it to Flamens and sitting outside the chateau, which I want to go in and see. As you can hear and tell, it's quite windy out. So I'm letting myself blow dry because frankly I'm all sweaty and don't smell great, and if I go in there that whole place is going to smell like the inside of my shoe, and that's not a good thing. So just going to give myself a little break, cool down, dry out, and then go see this thing. It's supposed to be quite a sight. So hopefully I'll be able to take you along with me. Boy, this is spectacular. The woman had explained to me that they bought the chateau decades ago and have been restoring it themselves. I wonder what they think about it. Well, I made it into the town right at about the time I was supposed to. It's 4:15, and the Jeep, which is across the street, opens up at 7, at 5, at 1700 hours. So my dogs are tired, I'm telling you. Charming little town, population of about 200, so pretty small. And apparently there's a pizza truck or something that opens up for dinners in the evening, so you know, anything simple is just fine. There's two other, there's a bicyclist, two other campers or hikers that I've been kind of leapfrogging with over the course of today. They're stationed over at the bench, so my guess is they're probably gonna find a spot at the same gîte as myself, and another hiker who's been at the picnic table over there for a while. Well, guess what? It was supposed to rain at 9:30 today, and it has just let go. It's now 8 p.m., storming, big electrical storm going on, wind blowing, raining hard. We don't get these things on the coast, so it's kind of fun to watch. It's going to turn the trail into a slip and slide tomorrow, but okay, that's just another thing to deal with. Figure it out, make it work. But it sure is going to cool the weather off. Ooh, that was nice. Not much remarkable on this part of the trail. Obviously they've been doing a lot of tree work stuff. Trees falling over apparently. You can see actually just cracked, blew over for that matter. So I suppose it's the French government that maintains this trail. Well, look at that. Snapped it right in half. Yep. So hopefully only 45 minutes out of excuse me, 45 minutes out of Lectoure. I had to remember where I was going and be able to chill for a little bit. I asked for a early check-in at 3 o'clock so I didn't have to twiddle my thumbs till 5 o'clock, and it looks like that was granted. So I'll just get in, drink some water, relax, have something to eat, and then look around the town a little bit, read up on it and see interesting places to go. All right, I loaded up, man. I loaded up. So there was a supermarché, like a supermarket, right? And this was a full-on supermarket. You could do your laundry there, no less. So the RV folks could dump their black water or their cartridges or whatever they got going on. And, you know, it was completely stocked. So I took my time, got the time to take today. And I ended up getting stuff for lunch, stuff for dinner, stuff for breakfast tomorrow morning and lunch tomorrow on the way, and all for 41 euro. And the best thing is that guess what I'm having for dinner tonight? That's right, sushi. How would you have guessed? Well, you were right, and a little bottle of sake too. A tiny bottle of sake. It's amazing they make them that small. But that's something to look forward to, man. So I am gonna haul all this stuff into the spot. I've got my own spot at Lectoure. Put it in the refrigerator, put my feet up, and certainly just make the best of it. So that's the plan. Gonna just put in the last little bit and get there, and we'll pick it up from there. All right. What a great sound. Well, here I am in Lectoure, set my bags down. I was just reading that this cathedral was built in 1388, and that at one time it was one of the tallest towers in all of France. So well, Holy Toledo, I tell ya, coming out of that cathedral, if you if you weren't Catholic, you sure probably want to be. I mean, that was just spectacular. Just one of the most beautiful things that I had seen. I thought the one at Saint Antoine was nice. Well, I mean, that was much smaller, of course, but this one just spectacular. Apparently, it seemed as though that they had two different popes that might have lived in this town, because they had the papal insignia inside the church. So I don't know, have to look up, read up on it. Gonna get off to my place tonight and unpack, take a shower, put my feet up. All right. Well, good morning, folks. It's day number 8 on the trail, September 19th. The goal is to get to Condom today, which I'm confident I'll be able to do. What I have found really helpful, certainly in just thinking about these Camino trips, was watching Efren Gonzalez's videos about them. They're just so beautifully done. It's been inspiring for me to kind of watch his process in filming and whatnot. But what has also been helpful is I'll watch his upcoming section of what I'm going to be doing next, just so that I can keep my eye out for landmarks. And in that, I learned of a variant on this next stage. So the Miam Miam Dodo book does mark it, but I didn't understand what it meant on the map. So I also learned, oh, okay, so that's what those different colored dotted lines mean on the map. This is a variant that I am gonna take, and it's gonna shave off probably a good, 2 hours or so of walking. So I'm glad about that. I'll go from a 19-mile day down to a maybe 14-15-mile day, which is kind of the top end of what I really want to do. What I'm also wanting to do is to keep the enjoyment, of the walk itself. So that's important because, again, it's not a march for me. So I'll tell you what, let's get the day started. It's 8 o'clock on the dot. Let's go have an adventure. Well, I was hoping to be able to boast at the end of all of this stuff that I walked 600 miles and not a blister. Well, blister. So I had to pull over and put some Compeed tape on it, and it really does seem to help, except now that I got a little tiny rock in the shoe, it's that whole thing, right? Pebble in the shoe that you can't seem to ignore, even no matter how small it is. So I'll just keep walking for a little bit. Got some snacks to munch on as I walk, and probably pull over and empty my shoe at some other point. So that's kind of it, just making a day of it. Well, it's not the most glamorous place to eat lunch, but then again, neither am I. Okay, I guess this means I gotta slow down to 30 kilometers an hour at this bend in the road. Well, hopefully I'm less than an hour and a half, hopefully. Probably a little closer to 2 hours. It's now 10 after 2. My dogs are tired, I tell you. I'm coming to see I can do 14, 15 miles on a day, but boy, my feet get tired. And changing my pace just to make it a little more tolerable on the legs, but it also slows me down, but then I don't sweat so much, and then I get in a little later, a little less time to rest, but I'm not as exhausted, so yada, 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 yada. So here's some nice picture of the countryside. There's a nice little breeze going, which is always enjoyable. I stocked up on water. The town, I can't say the name of it, but had that military exchange. Lit a candle in the church, which is something I've been doing, and it's nice. Very few people out on this trail at this time. I think most of the folks from Lectoure had stayed in San Ramel? I don't know. La Ramel? I don't know either. But in any event, got a spot. Looking forward to it. Cool shower, the whole bit. Ta-da. Oh, hey, look at that. It's rolls in the hay. Kind of like a Tootsie Roll. Or, if you're so inclined, maybe a caterpillar roll. Wait, did I just say a caterpillar roll? Come on. It could be the delirium. I'm not sure. No. What it is, my jokes just aren't that good. All right, well, finally in. Just about there, 4 o'clock. Just missed the bells from the tower. So gonna get into the middle of town, dial up my directions to the gîte, and get there, baby. Well, just as I got here, they closed the doors. So it's what, 7:15? Oh no, it's 7:40. Okay, that clock doesn't work. 7:40, and I guess everybody's going off for dinner. So no more Catholic stuff for until tomorrow. Well, I don't know if I'm supposed to be in or not. I came through a side door, but it looks pretty closed to me. But nonetheless, it's really spectacular. But I'm gonna kind of get myself to dinner. Well, here they are. Everybody gets a photo of these guys. So there you go. Too bad the scaffolding is in behind it, but nonetheless, I guess this proves I was here. So fair enough. Still trying to track down some place to have dinner, and I'm gonna get that going, hopefully right down the street.